Hi everyone, my name is Donna. Welcome to Life with the Loudons. Some of you may have noticed that I started to do a little series on dementia, and I doing this series since my husband Stu has dementia, and I wanted to be able to share my experiences with some of you. And if you know anyone that has dementia and I cover a video on it, maybe you can share that video with them to help them out. I've been asked a question often as to why our family members who have dementia are always so angry, and if there's anything I can do to make peace. So usually when someone has dementia, they get a lot of changes in their behavior, and oftentimes that can be increased irritability or anger, and that's because dementia affects the brains in ways that makes it difficult for them to understand or communicate their needs effectively. And this frustration and confusion can often be manifest in agitation or in anger. There are several reasons. One, I came up with four for you. One is cognitive changes. Dementia affects their cognitive abilities, which includes memory, reasoning, and problem solving. And they do get frustrated when they're struggling to remember things, or when they're trying to follow a conversation, or trying to perform tasks that were once so simple to them. And oftentimes that frustration can be manifest in anger. And I think if we would put ourselves in their shoes for a minute, we could understand why that could cause frustration and anger. The second is difficulties with communication. Dementia can impair one's language skills, and that can make it challenging for them to be able to express themselves. And the frustration of them not being able to communicate their needs or their feelings can lead them to become angry or agitated. The third reason I came up with was just plain sensory overload. People with dementia, they become overwhelmed by their surroundings, especially when it's noisy or crowded. Excessive stimuli can cause irritation or aggression. I kind of look at it as a protective mechanism for them, because it probably scares them when it is so noisy and crowded. And then the fourth could be physical discomfort. They might be experiencing pain or other health issues, but are finding it hard to express themselves or identify what's wrong, and this can result in anger. So it may not be possible to completely eliminate the anger. I have found that I have been able to keep my husband in a more calm environment with some of the other suggestions that I came up with. One is to establish a routine. To be consistent gives them a sense of stability, and it kind of helps reduce confusion or frustration. To try to maintain a calm environment, I don't invite people over a lot. I don't allow the slamming of doors or yelling in my home when there are people here, because they really, a person with dementia really thrives when they're in a peaceful atmosphere. So try to make it as soothing and clutter-free as possible. I am working on the clutter-free part, because when he became sick, I gave up a 5-room office and not having anywhere to put it. I am slowly selling things, getting rid of things, and doing my best to try to reduce clutter. But clutter does cause frustration, so try to keep things as organized and as simple as possible. If you have more than you need, try to start decluttering and getting rid of things. The third is effective communication. Use simple, clear language, and speak slowly, and give them time to process the information that you've given them. Gentle touches, eye contact, that also helps them with communication. But the main thing that I think is important here is patience, not expecting them to respond quickly when we say something or ask for something, because they just don't have the ability to do that. And if we can just recognize that they don't have the ability to do it, I think that will help with patience. 4, to validate their emotions. Understand that their anger is coming from confusion and frustration rather than an intentional aggression. Often just reassuring them, validating their feelings, having empathy for them can really calm them down and help them in that situation. Number 5, redirect their attention. When you notice there's signs of agitation or anger, try to redirect them to a different activity or a different topic. And by all means, don't raise your voice at them. Try to have a calm tone to your voice and help them to shift their mood. Number 6 was to ensure their physical comfort. Pay attention to their physical needs, including hunger, pain, or discomfort. Regularly check if they need assistance with their personal hygiene or other daily activities. Something as simple as going to the restroom can be a huge task for someone with dementia, and at times it can become an immovable task that they just can't do. They just feel like they can't do. So being understanding and helping to make sure they are physically comfortable is important, because if they're uncomfortable, they may not be able to express their feelings, which can cause them to become angry. And if you are caring for a family member who has dementia, remember it's going to be challenging. And so reach out to support groups and healthcare professionals in organizations that specialize in dementia. They can provide you with some guidance and some practical tips and some emotional support. One more thing that I really want to add here that I think is extremely important, I think it's one of the reasons why my husband is much calmer than many others with dementia. As a matter of fact, I've had friends tell me that he's gotten angry with them and yelled at them, where he doesn't do that with me. And one thing that I think is extremely important that we do is it's important to live in their reality. If my husband thinks, we live in California, if he thinks we live on a military base in Washington, then we live in a military base in Washington. It's not the end of the world to live in their reality, because their reality may be different than real reality. And it's important to validate that. The military base, especially my husband grew up in military bases. He feels secure in military bases. And to me, it's not the end of the world if he thinks he lives on a military base. If it makes him feel calmer and more comfortable, then his quality of life is more important than anything else. And I have even been told this by doctors that we have to live in their reality. So if it's July and they insist that it's, September, then it's September. It's not going to be the end of the world for you to live in their reality. So that, I think, is key and essential and extremely important when dealing with someone with dementia, is to do what you can to live in their reality. Now, every person with dementia is unique, of course. They're not all like my husband's do. There's differences, there's different stages. Different people react differently to various things, but there are a lot of things that are common in dementia patients, and that anger is one of them. If we try to contradict them, if we try to argue with them. My thought is never try to argue with someone with dementia, because they have lost their powers of reason. So that's again why it's just important to just live in their reality. Let them live a calm and happy life. It'll be calmer and happier for them, and it'll be calmer and happier for you as their caregiver. Make sure that we observe them, understand what triggers them. If there's certain things that trigger them, then avoid those things that trigger them. And remember that your kind and loving care is invaluable to them. If you are their caregiver, you are their world. So make their world a world of quality. They deserve quality of life just like the rest of us. I hope that I was able to share something with you that will help you in your journey as a dementia caregiver, and as someone who maybe knows someone with dementia. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. I don't know everything, okay? But I am willing to share any experiences or any thoughts that may help someone else, because I know how challenging it is. And I want your life and their life to be as peaceful and happy as possible. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. Also, if you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.